Hello, everyone. The reason why that the title of the stream is late birthday stream is because my birthday was on Friday. It is now Sunday. So I did not, I was thinking about streaming on my birthday. I know I've done that before, but I did it this year. So I'm streaming now. I have about an hour so I can stream. So I think it would be a good idea for me to do that. So how's everybody doing? Um, Potentially what I may be doing in the future, like soon, very soon, with Titus is um a Jedi Academy sort of stream, like reviewing the Jedi Academy trilogy. Titus has never read it. I have read it, but I would. The plan is obviously he's going to read it for the first time, and I'm going to reread it because I mean, if there's any books in the EU that I need to reread or I would like to reread, a lot of them. It's some of the early books that I read, but um, the two trilogies I'd love to reread are the Thrawn trilogy and the Jedi Academy trilogy. Those are two trilogies that I would like to reread. Um, but it looks like I'm going to reread the Jedi Academy trilogy first. So, and then of course after Titus and I get a book finished, we would get a stream set up and we'll talk about it and our thoughts. Um, so because Titus, he is not Titus in a lot of the eras. Um, he's a big Clone Wars guy. He's a big prequel guy. Um, he's read a lot of Old Republic stuff too. Um, most of the, he's a comic guy. He's a comic guy, so he's read pretty much most um expanding universe comics. Um, even post Jedi stuff. But in terms of like novels, most of his novel, the novels he's read are Clone Wars novels, other prequel era novels. So give me just 1 second. Sorry about that. Thank you, Nazma. Appreciate it. And I think I've decided I'm not changing my name. I'm gonna keep it as is. Um, just to sort of remember because when I created that name, the Star Wars EU team, um, that was when I was like 16. That's when I first started reading the EU. It's crazy. It's been like 4 years now. I've been reading 4 or 5 years, maybe 5 years, because there was a while I was reading EU stuff before I was even a part of any community. Well, maybe not a while, but there was a little bit of time there. So, but yeah, I'm not going to change it. I'm going to keep it as is. Um, just as sort of a way to, um, honor, when I became an EU fan. So, because the whole premise, a lot of the reason why I also started the channel and started, having a presence on YouTube and whatever is because, there's a stereotype that, the EU fans are just a bunch of old people, who don't like new stuff when that's not true. So that was kind of like the whole premise of my channel name was to sort of break that stereotype. And to be honest with you, it's not just me breaking the stereotype. You got Alex, you got Brennan, you got so many other guys that are breaking that stereotype. And that you have newer fans of Star Wars, or maybe not newer fans, but younger fans of Star Wars. Um, reading the expanding universe and enjoying it. So that's that's kind of the reason why I did that. Um, and yeah, I mean maybe, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna change the name. I don't think people want it to change. So I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. Um, I may put in my bio, like on my about section on my channel. I may like actually, you know, put in there why my name is the way it is. So because I've actually seen people say that. I've seen people say, you know, you fans are just stuck in the past, and that's all. You know, y'all are just stuck in the past. And I'm like, not really. You know, if you weren't if you weren't around at that time, like myself, then you're not stuck in the past. It's just a story you like. And this, so many of these stories are so relevant now, and they're addressing topics that we are discussing in today's times. So I don't know. I think that, um, very much the EU has everything to do with today as it had with yesterday and with tomorrow. I think it has everything to do with today. So, and even then, so much of the new canon is just ripped off EU stuff. So for people who say that the EU was just stuck in the past, it's not true because if it is true, then that must mean Disney canon is stuck in the past because they can't help themselves but take from the EU. So it's not really an argument. I mean, that is true. That is true as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you're right. I think there's so many things that were in the past that will always be better than what we have now. Um, for example, like music. In my opinion, music 40, 50 years ago is way better than the crap that's coming out now. It seems as time goes on, music gets worse and worse. It's not music anymore. It's just, I don't know what to call it. Just yelling or spouting crap. That's all it is now. In many ways, it is. I agree. But in terms of the EU, I don't think it's something that is in the past. I don't think so. Maybe in the sense of new stories, that is in the past. That's something we don't have anymore. But in terms of, what the stories mean to us and what they mean to the fandom, they have everything to do with the present. That's one of the reasons why I don't like calling the Expanding Universe legends. It's because I don't think that they're legends. I think they are just stories that, they don't. It's not like these stories are like, I don't know, like, some of the best novels coming out today or whatever in terms of, you know, referring to today's issues and whatever. But I'm just saying that I think these books certainly matter. But more so, they matter to Star Wars. Just, I mean, more than anything. But I don't know. I think I'm just yapping at this point. But yeah, I mean, there's so many people, young people now, reading EU stuff. Young Star Wars fans, and even then, there are older Star Wars fans who maybe never read this stuff, but when the reboot happened, they started reading the Disney canon stuff. They hated it, and now they're coming to the EU. I mean, I've seen people like that as well. So even you have older people who never really cared about the EU, but they started reading the Disney stuff, realized it sucked, and then they started reading the EU. So, whoops. So, I mean, I don't know. Which that really wasn't my case. The reason why I started in the EU was I just had an interest in it. Like I had nothing to do with the Disney canon and what they were doing in that universe. It was just I just had I was very curious about the Vong and how because that just sounded like such a wonderful idea to me, like an extra galactic, alien invasion. I mean, isn't that like I don't know. I just thought that was the most unique thing ever. Like Star Wars had never done something like that before. So that was one of the reasons why I got into the EU was the Yuzhan Vong. That's why the New Jedi Order means so much to me because if it wasn't for the ideas introduced in that book series, I would have never become an EU fan. That book series, in my opinion, that is the main story of the expanded universe. That's the main story. The Rebellion's a wonderful book. It's a very underrated book, I feel. A lot of good stuff in it. Oh man. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm kind of sleepy here. I've also been doing a series on the expanduniverse.com with Matt Wilkins called Clone Wars Reimagined, where we discuss various things within the Clone Wars characters, plot points, whatever, that we would have done differently. So this week's episode, which came out on the 3rd, was about the clones. So what would we have done differently with the clones? And we know we have and those episodes will be coming out all month on theexpanduniverse.com. So if you're interested, go give theexpanduniverse.com check out theexpanduniverse.com. I'm 20 now. I'm no longer a teenager. I'm 20 years old, which is crazy to me. But I'm 20, so no longer a teenager, now an old man. Anyway, so hopefully Titus and I will be able to do that with the Jedi Academy trilogy. That'll be a lot of fun rereading those books because those books meant so much to me when I first read them. They still do. I remember um my freshman year of high school. That's how long it's been since I've read these books. My freshman year of high school. Um, in English class we would have, about 15, 20 minutes of just reading anything. It doesn't matter what we're reading as long as you're reading something. And I I brought with me the first book of the Jedi Academy trilogy, and I started reading it. And I'll never forget that first chapter of when Han and Chewie are sent to Kestal on like a diplomatic mission on behalf of Leia, and they end up getting shot down. And I'll never forget reading about the Falcon just crashing. And then I remember turning back to the cover because on the cover it's a downed Millennium Falcon, and I was like, "Whoa, that's what that scene was talking about." I don't know. I mean, it sounds like why would I be like so shocked that event something on the cover is actually shown in the book? But I don't know, man. I just remember that chapter being awesome. Thanks, Marcel. I appreciate it, brother. But I don't know, dude. I still have actually, no, my original copy of Jedi Search, I ended up, like, falling apart, so I had to get rid of it and buy another one. But the other 2 books in the trilogy, I still have, like, my original copies. I also have, the SFBC edition of the Jedi Academy trilogy, which I'm really glad to have that, and it's in pretty much perfect condition, which is crazy, and I didn't spend a fortune on it either. I spent maybe 30 on it, which is not bad at all. Wait, hold on, let me look at the cover price on it, or the, inside flat price or whatever it's called on it. Let's see if it's on here. It may not be on here. Yeah, I don't think it's on here. Oh well, that's fine. I still pay good money for it, but I love this. This is the only, like, SFBC trilogy of any novel that I have. I don't even have, like, okay, that's well, I have some NJO duologies, 3 of them in the SFBC books. Um, but outside of that, not really. And I do have some other, like, hardcover books in the, SFBC edition, but, like, Dark Saber, Mercy Kill, a couple NJO books. They were 5 for $5. What do you mean 5 for $5? Like 5 books for $5? $5 is crazy, but I mean that does make sense. It was the 90s, so that was a very different era. In terms of inflation. Hmm. Really? That's interesting. So, like, did the SFBC copies were they not like sold in like bookstores and stuff? Like, was that not like? Because I don't know how Science Fiction Book Club works. I just know that they were the guys who put together hardcover omnibuses for various novels and whatnot, which I was soon to have Noah's mail order. What do you mean by Noah's mail order? I don't understand. 5 mail order? Sorry, sorry, Scott. I'm confused. Like always, I'm always confused. Oh, Noah's mail order meaning no, it wasn't sold in stores. It was only a mail order. Okay, got you. I got you. That's interesting though. 'Cause I always thought they were just sold in stores, but guess not. You sent a postcard with the books you wanted and your credit card information. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. And weeks later, you got your books. Awesome. That's different, man. I wish. Well, I don't know. Is FFBC still a thing? I'm sure they are. Science Fiction Book Club. Yeah, it's still a thing. I wish they were allowed to make more. I wish Disney would allow them to make more SFBC copies of ebooks, but alas. Hmm. Oh, okay. Interesting. Man, I'm getting sleepy, man. I don't know why. I need to finish getting the. I want to find the SFBC for the Dark Nest trilogy. That's definitely something I need to look out for. Dang. Well, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I do have some things I need to do. Um, Plus, like I said, I'm getting tired and I don't want to fall asleep, so I'm gonna go wake up. But thank y'all very much for joining. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Just be on the lookout for that stream with Titus. Or I guess it'd be three streams talking about the Jedi Academy trilogy. Um, I don't know when that's gonna come out, but we will see. I know I have to finish a book I'm reading now, and then when I'm done, we're probably gonna start it. So anyway, so keep looking out for that. Also, look out for the articles Clone Wars Reimagined that Matt and I are doing on expanders.com. Exclusive videos are on the website, not just with me and Matt, but with other people. I know Marcel did a series recently with Matt. Scott did a series with Matt. Bunch of people have done a series with Matt. So y'all keep checking out the website. Look out for my channel. Anyway, y'all have a really good rest of y'all's day. Thank you for watching.